Hey, okay, just a short one before we get to suspect profiling. Just welcoming some more of our uncle's friends coming in. A very warm welcome to you. I'm Kyle, and yes, it's true, I am chasing the Japanese Bigfoot. Not that I have any special preference for the Japanese Bigfoot. I just happen to live here in the shadow of Mount Hiba, home of the Hibagon, the Japanese Bigfoot. Now, I brought up Hibagon seasonality, and that's a little ahead in the book when it comes to analyzing the data, but that's okay. We don't have to stick to any special order. We can jump around like hyperactive juvenile Hibagon. Now, we have a problem when it comes to calculating Hibagon seasonality, and here's why. One newspaper tells me that in December of 1970, there were a dozen Hibagon sightings. A dozen. And that's all it tells me. Well, okay, maybe there were. Maybe there were a dozen sightings. Maybe there were more that went unreported, you know. There are usually more unreported sightings than reported sightings. What about those? What about maybe the 24 sightings in November that this reporter never heard of? What about those? And maybe some of those dozen December sightings, maybe some of those are the same sighting. Look at this. You're a reporter, a not too bright reporter, not too critical thinking, and you have a kind of a penchant for elasticity when it comes to things like facts and the truth. Or maybe not. Maybe you're totally honest, but lazy and not very bright. Now, this fella tells you that he saw the Hibagon out back of his house. Okay, you count that. This fella tells you that his brother saw the Hibagon walking just inside the tree line. Oh, interesting. Okay, that's another one. This little lady tells you that her husband saw the Hibagon Tuesday morning. Hey, okay. 3 sightings. Wow. No, it's 1 sighting. But an eager young reporter, he might jump on this and tell you he's got 3 sightings. He might believe it, but he would be wrong. So we need to limit ourselves only to identifiably discrete sightings. We need a date with some other distinguishing feature, a location, a witness name or initials, and other details. This, it's true, it leaves us with fewer sightings, but we can feel pretty sure that they are separate sightings. Now, we have to hope that this subset of identifiable sightings is somehow going to be proportionate to all reported sightings and all unreported sightings. And that's a big hope. But we can't control for that, or I don't see how, so all we can do is hope that it's so. Well, for separate identifiable sightings, I get this. This is a pie chart I made. I baked it up this very morning. November is the month with the most sightings. These 4 months, call it late summer and autumn. That's half of your sightings right there. Add in August and, ooh boy. January to June, half the year, not much is going on. Now, one of the reasons I think this is a region of heavy snowfalls up in the mountains. Now, maybe you don't mind leaving footprints in inch-deep snow, because you know that the sun is going to take care of those pretty fast. And also snow will drift over them. And the next snowfall, which you probably know is coming, you can sense it in your bones, the next snowfall will cover them, so no big deal. But you do not want to be leaving knee-deep footprints or hip-deep leg prints, because those are going to stick around. They'll be easy to spot and easy to track. And you are smart.
I can handle things. I'm smart. Not like everybody says. Like dumb, I'm smart and I want respect.
Springtime, these mountains are full of edible plants. Humans love them. I love them. I guess the Hibagon love them. And they probably have a much wider range in terms of what is edible for them. Look at those jaws. Look at those big teeth. And I guess these guys have stronger stomachs and stomach acid and so on. Now, July, August, even September, you have a lot of ripe crops in the fields. Fruits and vegetables and rice. Now, those are attractive in themselves, but they also attract these characters. And if you like the taste of these guys, as I do, well, you would go where they go. Now, late September, even now, the nights are cooling down here in the city. Up in the mountains, nights are getting chilly. You might be growing more hair. You might be getting more hungry. Your body might be feeling like it's time to bulk up, time to fatten up. So you might be out foraging and hunting and stealing more than usual until the snow gets too deep. And then maybe you just hole up in your cave, have some family time. Maybe you got some hams stocked away, maybe some other exotic meats. You know, it might be summer or winter outside, but inside your cave, it's like a wine cellar. Or my grandparents had a root cellar. A cave for storing food. Yeah, my grandparents were cave people. Now, sure, your meat might go a bit green, a bit tangy. Some people like it that way. I like it a little green and tangy. My wife can't understand. And that's what I get for Hibagon Seasonality. So, application time. I plan, until I'm dead or bedridden or just too frail, I plan to go up to Mount Hiba region twice a year, spring and autumn. Spring, the Hibagon off season, I will focus on looking for this cadaver, this grave. I'll just concentrate on that in the spring. And I hope it's on public land. Autumn, my focus will be on the living Hibagon, looking for footprints, stick structures, other signs, maybe an actual sighting, who knows? Maybe I will be an eyewitness. I hope so. I'm also scared, but what do they say? Nothing ventured, nothing gained. No, I do not fit what I think is the Hibagon's preferred victim profile. I also take precautions. I'll tell you about that another time, but don't worry too much about me. Also, we are going to have to see if there is a pattern or a connection between Hibagon seasonality and the seasonality of missing persons. We will look at that. But you can go ahead and check it out for yourself. Check it out in your own area. Tell me if the North American Bigfoot follows any seasonal pattern. I'm giving all my time and attention to the Hibagon because I'm here. So please help me on the North America side. The same with missing persons. Is there any seasonality to the North American missing 411 people or the missing people in your area? Let's figure this thing out together. You know, we might. I am in contact with the mother of a missing child. I only contact families if they are actively reaching out to the public. And then I reach out, and if they respond, great. I don't bother anybody. I don't chase anybody. And I don't talk about Hibagon. I ask questions. Now this lady's child disappeared from a campground, and I'll tell you the details another time. She wants to believe that her child is still alive. She's still looking for her child, of course. Good for her. She is a good mother. It's terrible, but people have blamed her, but she did nothing wrong. She did nothing wrong. Believing what she believed about the safety and lack of predators in the Japanese forest. Now, she's never asked me what I think. I'll never tell her unless she asks, and then I would tell her. But I would still encourage her to keep hoping and looking for her child. Now, people go hiking and fishing and camping and cycling with earphones in their ears. They have their eyes on their cell phones or in a book or on their fishing rod or whatever. They are oblivious because they think there are no threats. They are all alone and they are safe. If some of these people believed that there were long-armed, hairy beasts lurking in the bush, watching and waiting for an opportunity with incredible patience and discipline, and rules that they obey, they hold themselves to. Well, some of these people might still be with us. I believe so. This is no joke. I joke around sometimes, but this is no joke. It's deadly serious. And wouldn't it be great if we could help to prevent somebody going missing? Huh? That would be wonderful. I would feel good about that. Okay, you have your homework. Bigfoot seasonality and missing persons seasonality in North America. Tell me in the comments. I do try to read everything. Next lesson, profiling whoever might be taking all these people. We'll go wherever the data takes us, and we'll learn a lot. Thank you. I love you. Tell your family you love them, and have a great weekend.